Alright, hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be all about face brushes. So I recently did a video talking about eye brushes and all the different types and their uses, and some of you commented that it would be helpful to have one on face brushes as well. So here I am filming it for you. This video is going to be a bit different because unlike eyeshadow brushes, I feel like face brushes are more subjective to how you like to wear makeup, how you like to apply it, and what types of products you wear, whereas eyeshadow I feel like is more straightforward since it's mainly powder. So I'm going to be talking about the different use cases of each of these brushes, as well as giving you a variety of options that I like to use and you can check out as well. So if you want to see my top picks for face brushes, keep on watching. Alright, so I have this broken out by category. First we have foundation, then concealer, powder, bronzer and blush, highlight, and then an honorable mention. So I'm going to start out with foundation. I have 3 brushes that I'm going to be talking about. So the first brush is the Sigma Flat Kabuki F80 brush. This is a very popular brush. It is a flat top kabuki. It is very dense and also very soft. This is made with synthetic fibers. It's really good for blending in foundation. I like to kind of use this in like a tapping motion as well as a slight swiping motion. And you can use this for both cream and liquid. Then I have a bit more of a budget-friendly option. I also have the Real Techniques Expert Face Brush. This is a really old brush for me because the letters are starting to flake off, but I believe they still sell this. You can buy this at like any drugstore, wherever Real Techniques is sold, I believe. And unlike the Sigma brush, this is slightly tapered and domed. So it's going to be great for getting in the crevices of your face a bit more than the Sigma brush is, because the Sigma is just straight flat top. And this is also very dense and super soft. Even though it is drugstore and a bit more affordable, like you're definitely not compromising on quality with this brush. And you can use this for liquid and maybe cream foundation. And I have a few of these brushes for when I used to freelance on girls from my high school for prom. And the last brush I have is a bit of a hybrid between the Sigma and the Real Techniques. So this is the IT Cosmetics Love is the foundation brush. It's such a cute brush. Like I bought this totally on impulse just because of the pretty handle. I believe they release a new version of this every single year, and part of the proceeds go towards breast cancer awareness. And the bristles are heart-shaped. I don't know if you can tell, it's kind of hard to tell, but if I push it down a little bit, it looks a bit more like a heart. And like I said, this is a hybrid between the Sigma and the Real Techniques because there are more bristles than the Real Techniques, sort of like the Sigma, but it is rounded / domed, more like the Real Techniques than the Sigma. So this is really good. You can use this for liquid, cream, and powder. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but they come out with a new design, I think just about every single year. So I don't think they're selling this specific handle currently, but yeah, if you just keep your eyes out, I'm sure they'll come back with another style. Alright, so the next category I have is concealer brushes, and the first brush I have, I've raved about in other videos. It is the Rare Beauty Liquid Touch Concealer Brush. Now this brush is absolutely divine because it is super dense, but the bristles are also angled, so it is perfect for getting beneath the eye. It's also good for blemishes. So how I like to use this is if I'm going beneath the eye, I will sort of kind of tap and swipe. I will swipe to get a bit more concealer around my eye area, and then tap in to keep the pigment in the area. And then for blemishes, I just do a little tapping motion to keep the concealer over it and really pack it in. And then the next brush is the Morphe M224 Oval Camouflage brush. So this is a flat brush. I wouldn't personally use this for beneath the eye just because it is flat and you're going to spend a bit more time blending with it, but this is a very good option if you want to cover blemishes, just because you can do that tapping motion to pack in the pigment as well as carving out your eyebrow because it has the rounded edge, the flat edge, and doing eyeshadow cut crease techniques. And the next category brushes I have are powder brushes. So the first one I have is the Morphe M536 Under Eye Brush. So this is bullet shaped. It's very dense, but it's also tapered, so it's perfect for getting beneath the eye and like in your crevices of the nose. around your lips, and basically anywhere you want to set with a little more powder. But you can also use this to blend out concealer. Personally, I don't use this to blend out concealer just because it's a bit bigger than what I would like to use. I prefer using the Rare Beauty, but if you want to try it out for concealer, definitely give this a go. Now the next brush I have, I believe, is sold out. Unfortunately, it is the Morphe E41. So this is a very dense brush, and it's also tapered. I love using this with loose powder. Like, I will swirl it in a little bit of powder and then tap off the excess, and then the powder gets trapped in like the bristles, and then I can just kind of quickly tap it all around my face. I'm really sad that this is sold out because this is like such an amazing brush. So if you can find something like this and you like the style brush, like, definitely give it a try. Alright, so the last powder brush I have is also discontinued, unfortunately, but I am including it because I think it's a good representation of shapes of other popular powder brushes, and it is this Sephora Professional powder brush. I think I've had this for probably 10 years because they don't even make this style brush anymore, or this series. It's kind of oval. It's not as dense, but still pretty dense. It's more like spread out, and it's also rounded a little bit, so this is good if you're using loose powder, pressed powder, just swirling it in and then going over any areas you want to set. Just because it is a bit less dense, I wouldn't use this to bake. Neither would I use like the E41. I think these are more all over face powder brushes, but definitely check these out. And it's up to you which style you end up getting, just because it is personal preference and what techniques you like to use. The next category I have is bronzer and blush, so I kind of included these two together just because I feel like these brushes often go hand in hand. So the first I have is the Morphe R2. I actually forgot to write down the name of this one. Let me Google it quick. So this is the Morphe R2 Pro Tapered powder brush, so I believe you could also use this for face powder. It's similar in shape to the Sephora one, just slightly more tapered. I like to use this for bronzer just because I can load it up and then just slightly go back and forth on my forehead, and then I'll work it into my cheekbones and my jawline, and it's super soft and pretty affordable too. And then the next one I have is more of a contouring brush. This is the Luxie 512 Small Contouring. You can use this for either contour bronzer. It's really up to you and what technique you like to use. So the technique for this one I think is a bit different. So instead of swiping back and forth primarily, you'll want to work this one in a circle motion just because it is smaller, and you'll want to like diffuse the color evenly as well on the cheekbones. And then I have the Real Techniques sculpting brush. This is an angled face brush. It's very dense too. You can use this for either bronzer or blush. I like this shape for blush as well. I would say you use this more in like a swiping motion. Like if I was going for bronzer, I definitely swipe it and then work in circular motions as well. And then for contouring or the cheekbones, like working back and forth and then pushing the color up. And then the last brush, I'm not sure it's sold. I think I got it in like a set or something, but it is this Ego Tools Full Blush. I just included this one because it is a good representation of the other shapes available for blush brushes, and this is very tapered. Bristles are a bit shorter, and it's good for applying blush. So this I'll kind of go slightly angled but more head on, and then kind of like tap it in and blend it out a little bit. So a very good option if you want to try this shape of brush. And the last category I have is highlighter brushes, and really I only use one brush for highlight ever. It is this Real Techniques setting brush. I absolutely love this because it is small. It's kind of dense, but it's also splayed out. So it's really good for getting on top of the cheekbones and really focusing the highlight in the key areas that you want it to be, and the bridge of the nose as well. And then just an honorable mention, this isn't a brush, but I feel like I would mention it just because it is a very popular beauty tool. It's just beauty sponges. This particular one is a beauty blender. You can really do just about anything with a makeup sponge nowadays. You can do foundation, you can powder, you can do liquid blush and bronzer. So you definitely don't need a collection full of face brushes if you don't want to have it. Beauty sponge, like a beauty blender or a Real Techniques sponge, is a good alternative if you want to save space, or if you feel more comfortable using a sponge versus a brush, or if you like this finish of a sponge better as well. Alright, that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any face brushes that you like to use in your makeup routine, please let me know what they are in the comments below and what you like to use them for, because I'd love to know. And please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and turn on the bell for post notifications. And if you're new here, hi, my name is Valentina and I upload 3 times a week. And I hope to see you in my next video. Bye everyone.